Welcome to Hokie Religion, the Star Wars podcast. This episode, we talk about the Last Jedi trailer and the fact that you were totally right about the Han Solo title. This is Tyler.
And this is Michael.
Hokie religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
Welcome back to episode 57.
Hey, 57. I can't believe we've done 57 of these episodes.
That's 56 too many.
What are we doing?
Well, last episode, we had to come up with things to talk about because there wasn't a trailer.
And then,
in anticipation of a trailer, and it actually happened.
The day after, wasn't it? Or was it?
No, it was the night. It was the night of that episode's release.
It was supposed to be released. That's right.
When that episode came out, that night, the trailer came out, and the ticket scramble.
Why do we start every single one of these talking about how we screwed up the last one?
Our timing is Disney. Contact us. We need to get our timing sank.
Sank?
We gotta sank it.
Get that timing sank.
So
we have things to talk about today.
We do have stuff to actually
One of
talk
which
about.
being that the Han Solo movie was named.
Yes.
And the name is what everyone already said it was going to be.
Solo, a Star Wars story. And yes, you were totally right. You called it. There was no way that we could have known
job
that.
For you.
Just you figured it out.
Oh, you're such a good boy.
The amount of people online are like, I called it. Like, what the hell else are they going to call it? What?
You called that the Han Solo movie was going to be called something about Han Solo.
Yes.
Good job.
Han. The Hananing. What other, and people are still, even if they're not like, I called it, like, I don't like that name. What, other than the Han Solo movie, what are you going to call it?
Solo, the Solo.
A diamond in the rough.
The story of how.
I don't know. I mean, because they're all going to have that tagline. All non-saga films are going to have that tagline of a Star Wars story. That's that's what was set, forth with Rogue One. They're like, this is what they're going to be called.
The problem isn't the Star Wars story part. It's the
fact that it's just Solo.
Just Solo. I think
Did you call it Han Solo?
About.
What are they? What?
I don't know.
Rogue Man, Scruffy Nerf Herder, the musical.
Smuggle My Wieners, a Star Wars story.
That's your fan film. I've seen it.
That's my fan life.
Yes, I don't
smuggle my wiener.
I that's weird / fic whatever that you've written. I'm fine with it. I don't care. Solo, what else you're gonna call it? It doesn't matter to me. I do like the crew version of the logo better, with the gun being the L, because it's very iconic.
But then it's like Solo.
not really.
It's like SoCal, there's a capital letter in the middle.
Blaster O. I don't get it.
Solos.
Oh, I like the blaster in the name because it's his blaster. It's iconic. I don't know. It's not as it's his name in the Star Wars font.
The logo now really does look it looks like something somebody just threw together at the last minute.
Well, someone did just hand him that card. They're like, we made this. Here, hold it up. Show the people.
Like the Rogue One logo looked professional, I thought. Right?
It was the same. It was the exact same thing. It was the same logo. I mean, basically the same logo.
This just looks like impact font spray painted on on something.
I guess.
Doesn't it?
I don't think so.
There's no poster yet, right? This is just the title.
No, it's just the title.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah, I don't know what else you would have called it. I have no problem with that. I don't understand why people are so upset that it's just called that, because I don't think there's anything else you can. I don't know. It's
the
Han Solo movie.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
the titled Han Solo film, since they just called it the untitled Han Solo film for so long.
There's nothing. There's nothing you can do. Excuse me.
While Michael dies, let me continue to complain about the Han Solo title.
I'm getting choked up.
Yeah, so speaking about the fact that you totally called it, you can go to our T Public website and buy a shirt that says you called it in that exact logo look, except for without the Star Wars story part at the bottom, because we can't afford to be sued by Disney.
We can't. Are you sure?
I am positive I can't afford to be sued by anyone, including Disney.
Well,
Yeah. So
I mean, people
Go do
aren't
that.
even buying our shirts with our show's logo on them. So.
I know. We don't talk about them all that often. We have shirts. If you want a shirt, go to tpublic.com.
That's true. We haven't mentioned that.
Check out Twitter. We linked to the store recently. Find our shirts. They're on our website.
Do we have an easy way to get to it?
Yeah, go to hokieReligion.com, and on the right-hand side of the page, there's a link to our
that's right.
shirts.
Yeah, that's right. I'm doing it right now.
3 clicks.
Grab
2
a
clicks.
shirt.
2 clicks, and you got a shirt.
Well, that
Michael
link's-
just bought 6 shirts.
that-
Oh, God. Stop.
You can also buy a mug. You can buy a laptop case. You can buy a onesie.
Yes, for your tiny child that should not be listening to the show.
Or you, if
Ever.
you're a fucking weirdo.
You can buy 10 onesies and cover your body in them like it's a normal shirt, but everyone else is like, what's up with this guy?
We
So-
do. We
so
have
do that.
2 shirts now. Hey, the You Called It shirt is only $14 right now. There's a sale running
Yes,
without our
because
knowledge.
No, because it's brand new. When you create a new shirt, it is
Oh, yes.
instantly on sale.
For some reason, we have a sticker t-shirt and a shirt t-shirt.
Don't ask. For some reason, it's just the name has t-shirt in it, even though it's a sticker. I can't change that.
The Hokey Religion sticker t-shirt, which is a sticker in the shape of a shirt.
That would be even better if it was a full-size
Shirt,
sticker
yeah.
that is a shirt that you just like front and
Yes.
back apply like
Right.
a temporary tattoo.
The
If you get
back-
someone to help you and like smooth out the bubbles,
The back is the white part, and the front is the sticker, and you can peel off.
just like a
peel
phone
off
screen protector. It comes with like one of those little cards to smooth out the bubbles.
Yeah.
It's like a big one.
for your body.
Yeah.
It's body shaped.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have a Hokey Religion sticker t-shirt and a Hokey Religion shirt t-shirt. So make sure you get the shirt t-shirt if
If
you
you're
want a
not
shirt.
sure what the difference is, neither am I. Their website, the products are great, but the naming, the titling of things is not easy to work with.
Well, you
They
can also
automatically put the word T-shirt in front of everything. I don't know why.
well, if you want to just be so proud about how you're such a good boy and you called it,
Yep,
you can get a shirt that says
Sure.
you called it.
go for it.
$14 for 2 days, which that'll be over by the time this comes out anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Sales happen regularly. We post them on Twitter. Keep an eye out if you want to get a $14 shirt at a later date. So that's all we have to say about Han Solo, because that's all that happened.
Yep.
There's nothing else. People will still complain.
No, we'll
Oh.
probably have a trailer soon.
Yes, probably.
Because they finished. That was the whole thing. Was they wrapped
It's
production.
done. Yeah.
It's over now.
So I heard, sticking on Han Solo, I heard a theory today
Mhm.
how it would be interesting if the movie, like if it is this like his life, not just like one time period, if it's like a span, like different portions of his life and not just
Oh, really?
him being young. But like what if it ended with them in the cantina,
That would be
him and Chewie in the booth, and then they like see whatever happens, like they see across the way like Obi-Wan and Luke like cut that guy's arm off or whatever, like something, or them walking over or something like that.
You don't think that would be weird having the other actor playing Han in that scene? I think that would be a
Yes,
little
it would be
weird.
super weird.
That'd be a great. That's a great idea.
Like if it is an anthology film of his life, like if it's this whole like
Yeah.
different times.
so you're saying it's
and
not
periods.
it's not one connected period of time. It's like
I mean, yeah, we have no idea what the actual story's
cut
about at this
to
point. Like
5 years later.
yeah,
or
but
whatever,
if it's like
however it ends up
here's
going.
Han meeting Chewie, here's Han doing this thing, here's
Yeah.
the Kessel Run, here's him at the bar, and oh crap, that's the cantina, and there's Luke and Obi-Wan, and the end. And it's just like all contained Han Solo story.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
I
interesting.
did think that was a really good idea someone had. If that would be a really cool way to end
Yeah,
in the movie.
yeah.
That's all I got.
It would
That's
just
it.
be weird, I think, to have that actor playing Han
Yes.
in that scene, but not saying that's something I wouldn't want to see.
Yeah, I mean, at some point we all have to deal with the fact that everyone that was in the original trilogy is old now.
And's not going to come back. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Harrison's definitely not coming back.
No, he's never gonna-
Carrie is definitely not coming back.
No, and I mean we could get stuff with young Princess Leia at some point. It's not going to be her, you know.
Yeah.
If we see a Princess Leia in
Yeah.
her 20s, it's
Uh-huh.
not going to be Carrie Fisher. And would you prefer the CG one that
Yeah.
looks like a wax person,
Yeah.
or would you just prefer a good actress that is acting Princess Leia?
Mhm.
At some point, people are gonna have to get over that,
Yeah.
and The time is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
People. Oh no! In his theory, this is the part I left out. His theory is that Obi-Wan and Luke come over, but Obi-Wan is Ewan McGregor, and that
Oh, really?
that leads into them announcing the Obi-Wan movie.
That would be amazing.
So they come over. It's Obi-Wan. It's Ewan McGregor in like older makeup or whatever, and it's him as Obi-Wan. And then like maybe after the credits or it's an after credits scene or something.
You know what would be cool?
Like, that's the announcement of the next movie, which is the Obi-Wan movie.
You know what would be cool is not the cantina scene, but the part where, because Obi-Wan finds out about Chewbacca at least, right?
He talks to Chewbacca first.
But that's not. Is that the first time he heard of Chewbacca and Han, or the fact that they were leaving the planet or whatever? Had he not heard of them at all? I guess not. No, because he was saying that's why they went to the cantina in the first place.
And he talked to Chewbacca, and then they all came back.
That would be a cool scene to have.
Like
just Chewbacca sitting at a bar, and then somebody comes up, and you kind of go around Chewie a little bit, and it's Ewan McGregor.
And then that's the
with
announcement
like the old
that they're
makeup.
doing a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie.
Yeah.
Kind of a very Marvel-esque
that
like
would be
after credits scene. Yeah,
that would be a very Marvel thing. Yeah.
I doubt Star Wars would do that.
You've always you've been saying this is like the Star Wars Guardians of the Galaxy.
It was at one point. It was, and then Kathleen got wise to the situation. Screw this. No, thank you.
I think that's
a pretty great idea.
Our Twitter engagement rate is really bad. I'm just looking around.
Why are you looking at this? The fact that no one's engaging with us?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Twitter. Unless you're
Look at this. That many impressions and then that percent engagement rate is so embarrassing. Anyway.
Twitter is the place where unless people hate you, they don't talk to you.
That's true.
I mean, so maybe it's good we're not being engaged all that much because we'd probably have some hashtag and a bunch of people yelling at us. So
we're gonna assume that we're doing nothing wrong, and
we're
everyone
doing great
loves us.
If all of Twitter is ignoring us. That means you're good. That means Twitter's going well for you in this day.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's Han Solo.
Segment closed. Thank you, Michael.
Over.
Well,
now what?
So, Monday Night Football. That's what you think of when you think of Star Wars. And waiting for trailers, and
you got your balls, you got your Mondays, and you got your feet.
your wide range of understanding of football, it astounds me. So yeah, the trailer hit. Obviously, not everyone has watched it. If you don't want to hear anything about the trailer, this would be the time to stop. Why wouldn't you want to hear about the trailer? It was fantastic.
It was great.
Yeah, so we got a trailer and a poster for The Last Jedi.
Mm.
And the poster's super cool. And if you draw some lines on it wherever you wish, Darth Vader's in the picture.
Hidden messages appear.
You can draw lines wherever you want, and it's Darth Vader. You turn it upside down, turn it right side up, sideways, draw the lines however you want. There's Darth Vader.
It's Darth Vader.
The new Black Panther movie or whatever. It's got Darth Vader in it too. If you draw some lines wherever you want on the poster, there's Darth Vader. Sleepless in Seattle. You can draw lines wherever you wish on the poster for that movie, and you'll see Darth Vader. My point is, I don't think they chose the shape.
Poster?
I don't think.
What does that look like?
I have no idea. I don't think they purposefully placed people to make you draw lines to make a Darth Vader image on the poster. So maybe everyone stop freaking out.
How is that Darth Vader?
He's in the middle.
It's two different people.
The negative space is Darth Vader.
Yeah. So if you turn it upside down, that's his helmet right there, and it goes out.
Yeah, the negative space is Darth Vader.
That's his eyes right there, yeah.
Everyone look up the Sleepless in Seattle poster. Darth Vader's definitely there in between Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks.
Just turn it upside down.
Yeah, so maybe everyone stop with the random line drawings wherever you feel like them to make a picture of Darth Vader that you wanted. Because I find it super annoying. Thank you. The end. The poster's really sweet. I like it. It's good. It's got lots of stuff on it.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't like how it's doing that stack everybody on top of each other thing that every movie poster is doing.
The Force Awakens did as well.
Yeah. This thing.
I mean, all of it. It's very. I mean, it's very much like all of the Star Wars posters for the most part.
I guess if that's
stack everybody up, and then
That's what it's
everyone, of
supposed
course,
to
is
be.
freaking out that Luke is at the top and in the background, and all the other Star Wars films have the bad guy in the top and the background.
Oh no! The
So,
bad guy.
so Luke is Snoke, confirmed, or Luke is the bad guy and Snoke is Jesus. People, chill out. It's a poster.
Well,
Don't think Luke being at the top means he's the bad.
What do we
Means he's
got
the
here?
villain of the film.
in Phantom Menace,
Darth
Qui-Gon.
In the background.
Well, see, Luke isn't in the background in this one though.
But
He's just at the top.
He's the hovering one.
Space
Whoever's-
is the background.
Oh,
Space is the bad guy.
Space is the bad guy. I get it. Okay.
Space is the bad guy
Yep.
in this movie.
The universe is the bad guy in The Last Jedi.
You know, it's almost like Space is just another character in the movie.
It really is the seventh friend.
There were 7 friends.
Yeah, there's 3 guys and 3 girls.
Oh, I never watched.
So no 6, but New York was the 7th friend. Because no one counts Gunther.
See, there's no space in the Phantom Menace poster. It's just Darth Maul. No space. Darth Maul is space. But Qui-Gon is at the top here.
Yeah, it's there are a lot of assumptions being made off of a poster.
What was that sad movie about the guy with the piano?
The pianist? The
Pianist.
The piano man.
Yes, Piano Man poster. Look! Oh my gosh! Look!
Music man.
It's Darth Vader too. Just turn that upside down. It's Darth Vader in that one too.
Confirmed. Every
Every
movie
poster is
poster,
Darth
if you
Vader.
draw lines in the shape of Darth Vader, make Darth Vader on the poster.
This is
The
crazy.
end. Darth Vader's everywhere. So the poster's pretty cool. I like it.
Look, if you put a Darth Vader helmet on Qui-Gon, it's Darth Vader.
Yeah, great. Perfect. Wonderful.
Look, it's Darth Vader in that one too.
an actual poster with Darth Vader on it.
Darth
Yes.
Vader's in every poster.
He's always watching. So I think people need to chill out about the fact that a poster has Luke at the top, and if you draw lines that look like Darth Vader,
You
make
can't
Darth
put him
Vader
on the
be in it.
bottom. He's too big. Then it looks weird.
Then it's not Darth Vader.
You can turn him upside down and put him under the wars. But
No, I mean, obviously he's at the top because he's in between the good guys and the bad guys, and he's obviously conflicted in the film. And from a design standpoint, it makes perfect sense to me. Not that he is the villain, but
Yeah.
the fact that he is in a place of confliction on the Force in general, and then the poster is split by good and evil.
yeah.
You know, good and evil, whatever, bad, light, dark, whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as people hate the term gray Jedi, I don't think that's a thing, but I think he is in a gray area.
Yes.
He's not a gray Jedi, but he is in a gray area right now, which makes perfect sense for that design choice to me.
Right. We'll get into that in a second.
So the trailer happened, and it was it blew my body. it caused damage.
It tickled my tanglers.
There was trauma. It was traumatic. My body hurt because it was very confusing to watch for 20 times in a row.
Very confusing.
Because a lot of very purposeful editing choices were made that make you be like, what? But that's, I mean, what movie trailer isn't built to make you like, oh my God, what? And then you see the movie and you're like, oh, those things happened, and
Right.
it's completely different acts of the film.
Right.
So as much as it is very like, oh my God, what's happening in the trailer? I think there's very much deception from a design standpoint and an editing standpoint, just like The Force Awakens, where Finn had the lightsaber and that's all they ever showed was Finn with the lightsaber.
Yes, right.
And then Finn just used it once and then got chopped up the back, and then it wasn't him. Oh my God, it's this girl.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely what's happening in the trailer.
There's a lot of really obvious, like on the nose things, like the whole thing with Kylo looking like he's gonna kill Leia or shoot her.
Yeah, Kylo, flying in that space battle and then locking
Like,
onto
that's-
this Republic or this Resistance like main ship, and it's cutting back and forth between Kylo and Leia, and he's like not pushing the button
Right.
to launch his missiles or whatever,
Right.
and that could not even be the same scene.
Right.
But
It could be two different things.
that one, that would make sense to happen to me. That would because I think Kylo is still conflicted, and that's perfectly plausible for that to happen.
That he would actually be having some trouble shooting
To
Leia.
kill his mother, yes,
Oh,
I think so.
possibly.
Because I think he's still struggling with all of the Force.
Yeah.
I mean, so we have other things that have lines from the movie, like the Force Link toys that have come out. And there's a line from Snoke, not, we don't know who it's to, but talking about someone being weak. And your emotions make you weak, which who else other than whiny Kylo to have emotions that make them weak?
Yeah.
From Snoke's standpoint. So I can totally see Kylo being, instructed to destroy his mother and everything else, and then not doing it, and then being, we'll see what happens. Being shunned, I don't know.
Being shown by Snoke.
By Snoke,
You're saying, yeah.
So we're jumping all over the trailer.
Well, that's the big thing I want to talk about, but
Yeah.
I guess we could go from the beginning if you want.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously the trailer starts out.
Well, we don't have to go through the
Rey
whole
is
thing.
fighting with her lightsaber and this stuff. You've seen the trailer. If you haven't watched the trailer, watch it. If you haven't watched the trailer, don't listen to this either.
Stop now. You're only 20 minutes in. Get
Yeah.
out while you can.
Yeah. So there's a lot of interesting stuff with Luke. Obviously, we get a lot more lines from Luke. So him talking to Rey of, I've seen this power, this power before. It didn't scare me then, but it does now.
Raw strength is what he
Yeah,
says.
raw strength. It didn't scare me enough then.
Yeah.
It does now.
Right.
Which I'm assuming he's referencing Kylo.
Yeah.
I would assume. And then speaking to her, the fact that she's like crazy Force woman, cracking rocks and whatnot.
Swinging lightsabers.
Yeah. So he's still, it's still that same Luke we've seen of him being conflicted with the Force, whatever, being afraid. I guess still afraid to do anything and afraid to train her because he wasn't able to contain or guide Kylo's strength, right?
Yeah, well,
And so he's afraid he's afraid the same thing's going to happen with Rey.
I think
My assumption.
I think he put too much stock into what Ben was supposed to do or what his destiny was. Like, I think Luke, he had the mandate to pass on, or like what Yoda said, pass on what you've learned.
Yeah.
But so then this kid comes along who Luke senses this crazy raw strength in and all this stuff, and he's the son of his sister, he's related and everything.
Yeah.
So I think Luke probably put way too much stock into what Kylo was supposed to be, or Ben at the time.
Yeah.
What he was supposed to be and what that meant, like all this power in this kid, and either like set his expectations too high or for what Ben should be doing, or pushed Ben too hard, or something. I don't know. Something happened, and then
he couldn't control him, and I think I expect to see the fact that Luke still had no idea what he was doing at that point.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Yeah,
because I think everyone that trained Luke died like right after they taught him anything, very soon after.
Coincidence?
Yeah, so. I don't think he knew. I mean, we'll see how much, if there was any like Force ghost teaching, like if there was I don't know what Luke was able to learn to then be able to teach people and have a Jedi temple, which I assume is what is on fire and burning and he's buried in the rubble of in the trailer. But I'm assuming he has no idea what he's doing and doesn't even know how to train Kylo or someone with that. Because Luke, I mean, I think in Jedi, Luke he seemed to be a little more struggling with the dark side, and that's when
we've
Darth
talked
Vader's
about that
trying
before.
to bring him over. But
Right.
I don't think Luke ever had like that much darkness in him or that much struggle with darkness.
No.
But then you've got Ben, who is probably even what seems to be even stronger than Luke, maybe, or at least at that age, more powerful than he should be. And
Yeah,
not
I
able
think
to
that's
control
what it
it.
was. Yeah.
not able to control it. But then,
And I think Luke responded to that by trying to force him to control it or try to control Ben.
possibly.
And that just drove Ben away.
But then what Luke didn't have that Kylo had is Leia talking about how Snoke seduced him. So who was Snoke before now? And how much was he around Ben to seduce him?
That's the question we've been asking
Because it's
for a
just
while
like
now.
Anakin, where Palpatine was always there,
Yeah,
like, picking
watching him
away at him until he broke.
Right.
Luke never had that person that was always there, like just
Right.
beating him down, basically into darkness.
Yeah.
And then Ben probably did with Snoke, right?
Mhm.
So Luke was trying to contain this power while someone else was combating that he probably didn't even know that was happening.
Or I think it's more of what we're seeing in the trailer happening to Rey, where
Just that confusion.
no, well, Luke, there's a moment probably where Luke or Ben just had enough of Luke and it's like you don't know what you're talking about. Something happens.
I've got feelings.
They need to come out.
He runs away down the hallway flailing, chopping things with his lightsaber.
He has his feeling moment. He feels himself too much. And then there's somebody waiting for him, basically. Or like coming along saying, hey, I can teach you to...
There's never anyone waiting for me after I feel myself. Just...
Oh.
He should be so lucky. Anyways. You be grateful for what you have. Yeah, so
what was I saying?
I get what you're saying. He has all these emotions that, and I'm assuming from what Luke had was taught too.
Luke drives him away, and then somehow Snoke comes along.
You almost
and
say
is like,
Smeagol instead of Snoke?
Yes.
Really? Is
Yeah.
that what you almost said?
I almost said Smeagol.
Sure. Snoke confirmed.
Smeagol.
Snoke is Smeagol.
Smeagol comes along and is like, hey, I can teach you to control yourself, whatever. I can teach you how to use this power.
Yeah.
Same thing that's happening, what seems like, with Rey
Yes.
in the trailer, where Luke probably disappoints her in some way. I can imagine.
Well, he disappoints her like on first meeting because he's
Right.
like, "What are you doing here?
Right.
Who are you? Why are you here? I don't. Thanks for bringing this back. Please leave now."
Yeah.
I mean, from what it seems.
Yeah, Luke is not someone who wants to get involved
No,
at this point.
he's scared to be involved. It seems. I mean, he definitely is.
Or
'Cause
he
he's like, I've
thinks
seen this
it's-
strength before, and I'm scared of it now. Like, I don't want anything to do with it
Right.
because he knows what can happen.
Yes.
But again, Ben had whoever Snoke was or whatever Snoke was involved in. I mean, did Snoke even look like this before whatever happened?
I don't
Maybe
know. We've
Snoke-
always kind of thought
was Snoke in the
in the New Republic.
in the fire at Luke's temple? Is
Was he in
that
the
why he looks
fire?
like this?
Oh shit! Is he another student?
Maybe not as I don't know. I mean, if he was around, Snoke had the ability to seduce him, so he was around. I assume he didn't look like a trash fire before when seducing, because that doesn't seduce anybody. That business, that stack of flapjacks. That I assume he looked normal at one point, right? He was just a person.
Yeah.
At some point, something happened to him to have made him
he's
look
definitely
like that.
just a human. He's not an alien or anything like that.
So, one, if he was around, I'm wondering if he was in that fire.
Why didn't Ben get?
Oh, okay. So later, all right, theory time. So later in the trailer, at the very end of the trailer, there's a shot of Rey saying she needs someone to help her. She needs to teach me.
Yeah.
I need someone to teach me what I'm supposed to do. Whatever.
Yeah.
The exact quote, I don't know it. And then it cuts to Kylo holding out his hand, and people are like, "Oh shit!" But
Yeah.
if you look at the scenes, the background for Rey and the background for Kylo are completely different. The horizon lines and the colors of the scenes are completely different. Those are
It has
that
to
is
be two
creative
different
editing to make
scenes,
us
yeah.
feel like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not. That's not going to happen.
Right.
I highly doubt it. Now behind Kylo, there are falling embers and fire. What if he's holding his hand out to Snoke to help him up at the temple fire?
I think that's a stretch because he has his scar and it's healed.
Oh, he does have a scar. Damn it.
Which is after Force
He
Awakens.
he had an exact same scar previously.
Okay.
No, that ruins my theory.
I
liked that for a second.
I do really like the theory that Snoke was a former student.
Or was in the temple when whatever went down went down.
Yeah.
Because he had to have been
Which
around.
kinda
He had
explains
to have
his-
been there to seduce Ben. He had to have been close by, around people, and people.
That's different from when I was saying he comes along later. He's been kind of watching from afar.
I'm sure, yeah.
And then he comes along later. Or it's what you're saying where he was there like the Emperor. Like Palpatine was for Anakin.
Hiding amongst the
chipping away
everyone else.
at or like twisting everything that Ben is learning, you know?
Because all we really get from Leia is that Snoke seduced Ben
Yeah.
to the dark side. But
Right.
we don't know. That doesn't give us any indication of if she knew Snoke all that well
Well,
beforehand.
yeah. So if Snoke is either a former student or someone involved in like the New Republic or something, and happened to be there,
yeah.
that would explain how Leia seems to know about him. His Snoke's obsession with Luke probably explains that too. And like you're saying, it explains how Ben was seduced.
Yeah.
So that could be. That could
And
be
so,
interesting.
yeah, my new idea is that Snoke looks like melty pancakes from the fire at the temple.
You don't think he's the puppet for a bigger?
I mean, that's still
deal
very
now?
possible. I mean, he could have just been the guy that was. He could have just been the guy that was,
The
sent to
hype man
infiltrate.
or whatever.
He's got a boombox and yeah. I mean, he could have been the one to just that was sent to infiltrate and report on what was happening and to help seduce Ben. But of course, from stuff we were talking about before, is how much force use does Snoke have? Well, we very much got the fact that he is force holding Rey in the air with force wind whipping around her while he yells at her. So he's obviously very forcible,
Yes.
if you will.
He has lots of force inside of him.
So he's not, because I thought maybe he could, be, like I mentioned before, maybe just an acolyte or something like that maybe didn't actually really use the force.
Yeah.
But obviously he can now.
Well, and I was always saying he taught Ben somehow. So he has some knowledge of the force.
Yeah. And he can use it, and obviously use it to subdue Rey to the point that she's screaming and, held in place like the blaster bolt from Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And so it's possible there's no one higher, like that he is the bad guy. But I still think I like that idea that it's still a red herring, that he's not the
ultimate real villain or whatever.
Yeah, I could see
it's Luke. It's Luke instead.
Luke's the bad guy because he's Darth Vader.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, I don't. My Snoke.
Get your shit together, internet.
My Snoke theory's still in process. Still computing on that one.
I like the idea of him not being the ultimate villain, but I don't think it's likely.
We'll see. So,
we'll see. Of course, we'll see.
We'll definitely see, Michael.
That's the whole point of theories.
I'll
though.
see. You won't.
You have to see now.
Yeah.
You have to call it.
So we got Luke on Acto at one point on the ground saying this isn't going to end the way you think it is.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's in response to, well, obviously Snoke has Rey at some point. I'm assuming that's in
response to them
taking Rey.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I didn't even think about this. So I was thinking that because of the way Luke responds to Rey and kind of probably drives her away in some fashion, where like she comes to him for help, looking how to, returning the lightsaber, obviously, and looking for a way to figure out this new force thing that just awakened inside of her that she just realized she has. And then Luke is all, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to come back to help anybody. I want to stay here, whatever. I was thinking that would drive Rey away, or at least throw her in enough confusion that Kylo had an in to say, hey, why don't you come over here? I think we could help you.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking was the more likely scenario. But what if she is just straight up kidnapped?
Yeah, so
I wasn't even thinking about
so
that.
in the shooting of The Last Jedi, at one point there was a scene shot with people in black, possibly the Knights
On
of Ren,
Acto.
on Acto, and possibly Kylo as well.
Yeah.
That's the rumor. That's from pictures we had. That's the assumption.
That was a while ago that
long
rumor
time
came
back.
out. Yeah.
So I'm assuming they find Luke. Kylo is sent with the Knights of Ren, and they take Rey.
You really think so?
That's my assumption. Is they take Rey, and that's how Snoke 1 gets her.
Yeah.
I don't think she goes looking for Snoke yet. Not without Luke, I wouldn't think.
You don't think so?
I think Luke will now go looking
Even
for
if
her.
she's frustrated enough, you don't think that would happen?
Unlikely. I don't
Hmm.
I don't see her being that confident that fast to do that.
Maybe.
So I'm assuming him saying that is in response to Rey being taken by Kylo and the Knights of Ren or whoever.
Yeah.
And that's how she gets to Snoke. That's my assumption. That makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, that could be pretty interesting.
Because I'm assuming, I don't see her getting that confident that fast to go and hunt Snoke down, because that's not going to work out well for anybody.
I could see it happening. I don't know, not like going to seek him out, but I mean,
Yes.
she confronts Kylo at some point and they have a conversation like it's implied in the last scene of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
They have some sort of conversation and Kylo's, brings her with him basically.
Convinces her to come with him.
Yeah, so it's not like she's showing all the
I
initiative.
mean, it could be that Kylo comes there to kidnap her and then convinces her to come, and he's saying that to all of them, like Rey and Kylo, like, this isn't going to end how you think it is.
That's possible, yeah.
But I think there needs to be, from a story standpoint, there needs to be a reason for Luke to get off his ass. And I think her being kidnapped and him realizing he's failed someone else due to his lack of
Well, I think
lack
either
of teaching
way,
or lack of faith.
however she ends up with Snoke, that is, I think that's enough of a motivation. I think the
If
way
just
that she ends up,
leaves, I don't know if that's all that
I
much
think so.
motivation for him to do anything.
I think
It's
so,
like, well,
because
I failed again. I'm still a sad sack. I'm going to stay here with these frog people and
no,
and
but that's
porgs.
after he's realized how powerful she is. So whether it's a motivation of, I have to fix what I've done, or I have to fix this
Like,
before it gets
shit's
worse.
bad.
Yeah, I mean Snoke has two super powerful people, you know?
Possibly.
So I think either way, it's a motivation for him to
Yeah.
get it together.
That's one thing I hate. And we had, like, a lot of our theories for The Force Awakens were pretty spot on. And I mean, a lot of people's probably were, but a lot of ours that we talked about were almost exactly what happened.
Yeah,
I cannot get a sense of anything for this movie.
yeah. I've been saying
It's so painful that I'm like, I have no idea what the hell
It
is
can
going to
go so
happen, and
many
no
ways.
one
Yeah.
seems to.
it can go so many ways.
And
I think it's well, like, for example, Han. We called Han dying,
yeah,
pretty early
that
on.
made sense.
right? I mean, but there's nothing like that here where it's like, well, obviously this is gonna happen.
Princess Leia will die.
Other than no, I don't. I
You
think she's
still don't think she's
no.
gonna die?
I don't think. I really don't think,
Then how? What do they do with that
'Cause-
character?
because Force Awakens was Han's movie.
Yeah, this is Luke's
Um,
movie.
Yeah, this is Luke's movie,
So
and I
Rey-
think
so
9
Leia
was
just-
originally going to be a super Leia focused.
So they have to do something with that character now. They can't just write her out of 9 and like, oh, she's on vacation.
I mean, whether they do
from
like
war.
they show her from the war,
She
war
took a leave
vacation?
of absence.
whether it's like a scene from behind where you don't see her face, and then a ship blows up or something like that.
What
Or-
like the beach and in Rogue One, like that?
what?
Like in
The
Rogue One,
beach?
where they're on the beach and then the big explosion and they hold each other and they die. Like,
Yeah, but you see their faces. I'm saying it's a. It's a
what's the
super-
difference? If
You
see
can't.
this or
They
not?
can't. They're not going to show her face in 9.
So you're thinking we'll just see?
There will be something in
She'll
9.
just walk through scenes. I don't understand.
No, there'll be something.
Someone in that costume will just like pass by and be like just out of your peripheral, like randomly
Yes.
walking around in the background.
and then that room will blow up. I'm saying there's going to be
You
something.
think she will die in 9? Like,
Yes.
she will die, but you
I
don't
think
think in
so.
8.
Yeah, not in 8. I'm for sure on that.
9
not gonna
starts
happen.
and it's just an outside exterior shot of a ship. That ship blows up, and then it cuts to someone. They're like, "Oh my God, Leia was on that ship!"
Yeah.
And then that's how it starts.
Anyway. Yeah.
And then that guy blows up, and then like everything involved in that moment is done, and then it wipes to something else because one of those classic Star Wars like weird wipes. It wipes to something else, totally unrelated, and we never reference it ever again. That's
But
done.
if anyone does reference
No.
that
They blow
happening,
up.
they blow up. Yes. Anyone who acknowledges that Leia's dead blows up in this movie. That's my theory.
Sure, that's
She's not gonna die in 8.
Really?
What do we bet money on?
so.
Did I say that Han wouldn't die? I think I did say that, didn't I?
You said Han wouldn't die.
Oh.
So do we have another? Do we have another? Do we have another Deadpool?
Oh, I think so. Because I feel really good about this.
So you felt the
I
same
didn't-
way about Han.
I did not realize this. That's what I had bet on. I'm just realizing this
It's
now.
always
That's
about,
what I bet.
about death. So
I do not think that she's gonna die.
Hmm.
I will bet money on that.
I think she has to for us to move on in 9 with the story.
Not in this movie. It's not gonna happen in this movie though.
I think so.
Just because, practically speaking, it was
It will
already
happen.
written
It will happen.
and filmed.
Just like Han. It will be in the like end of the 3rd act, and everyone will be devastated.
No, I just don't think that's gonna happen. There's so many other There's so much other potential for like motivating things to be happening other than Leia dying. Like that seems.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, obviously they're having to rewrite 9 from like ground up now because they couldn't
No, I'm saying like
get that under control after Carrie Fisher's death. But
I'm saying like Rey potentially being kidnapped or somehow
there's
being
just a
in
lot of other
control
stuff that
Snoke.
needs to be resolved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Just throwing Leia dying into the mix, I think would be. It wouldn't get the focus that it needs.
Will Luke see Leia before she dies?
We've talked about this before, and I
I don't think so.
don't think so either. As sad as that is,
It's gonna be horrible. I will cry.
if that
I
does
will
not
100%
happen,
cry when Mark Hamill cries because Leia dies.
yes,
100%. I
it's
will
really
be
sad.
crying
Yeah, it's really
horribly
sad.
because I agree. I do not think that Leia and Luke will get to see each other before
Because
Leia
it
dies.
I think it was planned originally, probably, but
Probably,
now it's
possibly.
just not going to work out. I don't think. As sad as and as
It's
terrible
gonna
as
be
that is,
horrible. That's going to be horrible.
I mean, it sucks too that maybe we'll get it in this movie that
No one got to
Luke
see
didn't
Han.
Luke didn't get to have a moment with Han before.
No one did. I mean,
Yeah.
Chewie got to watch him die, and that was like,
And I felt like the way that Leia kind of dealt with his death was kind of.
But how
lame,
long had they
too.
been separated at that point? I mean, obviously she loves
guess.
him, and she probably knew that was likely to
Even
happen.
like
I don't know.
Chewie, he had his little roar, but that was it.
I think we'll see. Like, we've talked about this before. I think we'll see Chewie in a possibly weird place at the start of 8,
That's probably true.
and then he finds his porg friend, and then all is better. 'Cause he's got a dashboard
Dashboard.
squeaker. Ugh.
Dashboard confessional.
Jesus, please don't. That's
That's a t-shirt.
Get out.
Now that's a t-shirt.
Dashboard confessional.
Tell me that's not a t-shirt that would sell millions.
If I could draw things that aren't just text, I would probably make that into a shirt.
That is a t-shirt. I'm telling you, that's a really good idea.
Jesus, that's horrible. Oh, jeez. Why do you make me think about these things? So Ray.
Damn it, that's a good
I
idea.
gotta move on. I can't. It hurts me.
All right.
It's bad. The puns are too much. So Ray gets kidnapped or leaves and ends up with Snoke and Kylo.
Somehow,
on the Dreadnought
whether that's
or wherever they
kidnapped
are.
or what.
So in
whatever
one
it is.
scene, we see Kylo picking up his lightsaber off the ground. We see Praetorian guards in the background and a red wall.
Yep.
That's the same room in the background where Rey is being force held in the air by
Yeah.
Snoke.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that's the completion of Kylo's training when he picks up that lightsaber, because Snoke told Hux to bring Kylo back so he's ready to complete his training.
I think so, yeah.
So whatever happened, that's the ceremony of him completing his training, I'm assuming.
And also, if you think about it, whenever he makes the decision that he's not going to use his helmet anymore,
And when he smashes it into the wall for whatever reason,
if that's like a marker, yeah. I mean, if he's, well, I guess we
see the scene of him smashing his helmet into the wall, and that's when he destroys it.
Do you think that's after training?
That's
I wonder
after
if that's
that's after him getting in trouble for something. Probably not killing Leia.
You think so?
I think so.
I wonder what that is. Why
Why is he so angry?
about the helmet? Yeah.
Why is he smashing it? Because he's a whiny bitch that just pitches these fits and doesn't think about anybody else or
Maybe.
anything else, and he just breaks stuff, and somebody else has to go fix it.
Maybe that's
He
true.
destroyed that whole wall of computers with his lightsaber. It was dripping metal. There's no way to fix that without replacing the whole damn corner of that room, ripping everything out, and putting up new computer walls.
That's true.
So he doesn't think about anything like that. Somebody has to fix that elevator or whatever he was in. It's got a giant hole and helmet pieces everywhere.
That's true.
People like Finn, who are on, cleanup duty, have to go around and pick up his junk all the time. Like a small child. He's like my 3-year-old. He throws things across the room.
Is that what's really going on here?
He throws things across the room without thinking about what it's going to hit. He breaks the TV. No, I mean...
Did that really happen? Did he break
No,
the TV?
no, not yet. Not yet.
It will happen.
I'm sure. But Kylo we've seen it. He's still that whiny. He doesn't know what's going on with his body. Things are changing. He has all these feelings. There's hair in places that he doesn't know what to do with it. And he doesn't know. And so he breaks stuff and he lashes out. And no one will tell him what's going on. Tell me what's going on, Michael. Why is this happening?
Is this another? Are you drawing lines to your real life, your life?
Are we talking about Star Wars now? I mean, but that's Kylo.
Do you have this hair?
I pull out like a 6-foot hair. What was that?
A braided string from somewhere, like in your pant leg or something.
So I mean, but that's Kylo. He's still that. He doesn't know what to do with his feelings, and he tries to make himself angry because he's still not angry enough to be a bad guy. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why he breaks his helmet. All of that to say, that's why he breaks his helmet. Because he's just, I want to be bad. I can't do it.
I'm a
So
bad
he
guy.
punches a wall or slashes something or punches his side where he got shot just to make himself angry enough to actually be a bad guy for once. Which brings me to the fact that I think while Rey is there with Snoke and Kylo, and the way Snoke is talking to Rey about, her being strong and whatnot, and I think that Snoke cares more about Rey than he does about Kylo.
Oh yeah,
And I think Kylo too. And I think Kylo is going to get real pissed off about that and be rejected again.
Yeah.
And I think that Snoke's going to just totally toss Kylo to the side.
What do you mean again? I don't think he was ever rejected by Luke. Do you think? Or do you think
Kylo feels that way? Not that he was, but
do you think
I think Snoke will show more attention and more interest in Rey and her potential than Kylo, and especially if he's failed already once in the film, smashing his helmet from whatever happened.
Yeah.
If he's already failed once, Snoke kind of just tosses him to the side for like, she is way better than you.
Yeah.
Screw you. I'm going to focus on this.
I could totally see that happening, yeah. Well, what are you going to say?
No, there's lots more. Go.
I was going to say, what do you think about going back to Kylo? Do you think he was rejected by Luke at some point, and that's what kind of sent him on that?
Feels rejected in the fact that Luke didn't train him well.
Well, yeah. So there's two ways you could go there. Was he actually rejected in some way, or was he just repressed? Like he felt he was repressed by Luke.
I think
that's two
it's
different
going to be
things.
very similar to Anakin and Obi-Wan and Palpatine.
That's more the repression thing.
Yeah, where he's trying to teach him to be good, but not what to do with his
But
feelings.
it comes out as just control yourself, basically.
And that thing we keep talking about, the Jedi, where it's just like repress
Right.
your feelings,
Right.
just be good, just don't
Right.
don't be depressed, just be happy. Like all those people that tell you, just pray the depression away, you'll be fine.
Right.
Jesus will make you happy. You can't. That's not how depression works, and that's not how feelings work. And so, just like the Jedi doing that to Anakin, I think because Luke was trained that same way, where it's just like, don't feel hate.
Right.
Hate leads to anger and all that, and that's how Luke was taught, and he's trying to do that, but that's obviously not the right way.
Yeah.
And I think Luke has learned that now through his studies and reading. But I think,
now he's erring on the side of rejection instead of, because he's like, well, yeah, I can't do it this way, but I don't have a better way yet, so I'm just not gonna deal with you.
maybe.
That's what the response to Rey seems to be.
Yes, that's what
I'm trying to figure out
what
if-
happened with Kylo.
Yeah, that's something that happened with Kylo.
I would bet that it's very much Anakin-esque with the trying to teach him the way he was taught, and it's obviously the wrong way,
The
and
way
that's
of
what
the
happened,
Jedi.
and that's why Snoke was able to seduce him, because he was like, use these feelings,
Yeah.
and obviously use them for bad.
Yeah, the whole repression with like teenage angst that all checks out.
That whole bag. Yeah, that's the same thing with Anakin. I think that's what
Like
will
some
happen.
Jedi, especially when they're trained young, which is probably why they prefer that. It just works out, and they're able to control their feelings and do all the crazy stuff that the Jedi ask. But with this kind of thing, like maybe Ben was a little older when he started training. Who knows?
And especially for people that are this strong in the Force. And that's what I think we've brought up with Anakin before. Because the Force there is not just the light side of the Force. The Force contains both the light and the dark side.
There's
And
a
watching the
balance,
Clone Wars,
yeah.
there's the sister and the brother and the father. The father's the balance, the sister's the light, and the brother's the evil.
Right.
The bad, the dark. There are two sides to the Force, which makes the Force.
Yeah.
There is not the Force without the other. Like there's no light, there's no
Without the
Force
dark.
without the light and the dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just like, you can't have, it's that middle ground. So where we've talked before is where the dark side and the Sith are like channel that emotion into evil, and then the Jedi are like channel not having emotion into just be good.
Right.
So when someone is that strong in the Force, like Anakin or Ben, and they have that much power in the Force, they have to be able to use both the light and the dark for their purpose.
Together, yeah, that balance.
And I
of
think
the
that's
two.
what Luke has learned, is that the Jedi were wrong, and there's a balance to the Force. There's not the fact the Jedi always wanted to bring balance to the Force, and the balance isn't not having dark, it's being able to use your power effectively with both being the dark and the light, and using it in a way that is good, and not
All
just
about-
not repressing your emotions. And we keep saying this, not repressing it, using your emotion for a purpose, and not repressing it until it destroys you.
Right, not doing things in moderation, not
Yeah.
completely rejecting passion or love or
And-
whatever.
I think that's what. So we're gonna see that effect on Ben having the same treatment as Anakin, where he wasn't
Yeah.
taught to use his emotions, and
Yeah.
then I think we'll see the opposite with Rey, where maybe Luke teaches her how to use her emotions appropriately.
Maybe.
But the fact that she ends up with Kylo and Snoke, and I think Kylo's going to get super pissed off that Snoke doesn't care about him anymore because she's better than you. And
Yeah,
she knows how to control her emotions now because Luke helped her to.
I could totally see that happening, yeah. And she's already resisted him once.
She's
which
more
kinda
powerful
pissed
than
off-
him.
Well, yeah, what
So
kind
he's
of
already pissed off about
Snoke.
that.
Yeah.
Now, in the
Well,
end,
yeah,
though,
so actually twice. She resisted the interrogation
And then
the
she
first
fought him.
time, and Kylo went and whined about that. Yeah, and then she fought him and beat him,
yes,
or at least got away.
yeah, and
Which then Snoke's response to that was, it's time for him to complete his training. So I don't know what that's going to end up meaning, but
got to do something with this piece of shit. So okay, so Kylo gets mad. Rey is captured, and it could go at that point. It could go any direction. Kylo could turn back to good, and Rey could go dark.
you keep saying, yeah, that thing about Kylo turning I don't see that happening.
I am very much right now 50-50 on the fact that both Rey and Kylo will be with Luke at the end of 8. And we will find out that there is
At the end
Snoke,
of 8?
and that there is Snoke and something worse. And there will be 3 good guys.
Yeah, I think
with lightsabers.
That's one of those out there theories.
I do not think Kylo will remain a bad guy for this entire saga.
Okay, well, the saga is different from this movie.
So we have until episode 9. I think Kylo will not be a bad guy anymore by the end of 8.
You think at the end of 8?
I do. Yeah.
See, I don't know. I can't get on board with that. That's too soon. I mean, you're saying he's going to have his rejection and his reaction to that, and then a decision all in this movie?
I think it will end with us realizing, like, either he saves Rey or something, and he makes that decision.
All in this movie?
I think so.
I don't know. That's not.
I think both. I think.
not gonna happen.
I think
It's
both
too
Kylo and Rey are
soon.
going to have these huge arcs, and I think Kylo's will. I mean, okay, maybe it
I
doesn't
think we're
happen
going to
in 8.
end up in the middle of their arcs at the end of 8.
So would you
and
agree
it's
that
gonna all
in
be
9? Would
resolved.
you agree that in 9 Ben
Redeems himself
redeems
somehow?
himself?
Maybe. I could see that happening.
I can see it happening in 8.
I mean, you still have Mark around, so
We have to have that cliffhanger at the end
of 8?
of 8.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a big time like Empire.
Yes, there's going to be
Cliffhanger.
some sort of cliffhanger.
Yeah.
One, we either find out something super revealing about Rey all of a sudden, that she's somebody,
Or Snoke.
or
Whatever-
Snoke, and there's somebody worse than
Whatever
Snoke.
ends up
there's
being,
somebody
yeah.
in charge of Snoke,
Yeah.
or the fact that Ben goes good, Rey goes dark, or they both get away. Rey convinces Ben
Yeah.
to leave with her to go back to wherever Luke is,
Yeah.
or something like that. I could very much see that being the cliffhanger,
I don't know.
because that would be
I don't know
crazy
about that
pants for it to end with Rey convincing Ben to leave Snoke, and him redeeming himself then, or starting the
Well,
redemption.
then what's the conflict in 9?
Well, that also has to be revealed. If there's something worse happening,
Then
I still think there's something worse happening than
Well,
just
yeah.
Snoke and
then the
Kylo.
conflict has to be the conflict that needs to be resolved is there's something bigger
There's something worse
that's been revealed. But that's not been set up at all yet. So
This movie is going to be like nothing you've ever seen. They all keep saying.
well, I totally agree with that. I
Yeah.
think this movie is going to throw everybody off.
I am excited.
I think it's going to
for
be
that.
super
I'm very
dark
excited for that.
and very unexpected.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I'm excited for that too. But yeah, some of these theories, I don't know.
What else are we going to
know.
talk about? No, I mean
We've
that's-
got what is it, 60 days?
yeah,
at this point,
it's
less than
a
60
couple
days,
months
right?
away. Yeah, it's less than 60 now.
Yeah.
It's 3 months
As of
to 2
as of
months
recording,
away.
yeah.
Which
Damn!
is super close.
Yeah.
And
And then we're definitely
so
getting the
excited.
Han Solo movie in May.
in May of 2018, so 6 months later, not even enough time to process The Last Jedi before we start seeing trailers and posters and stuff for Han Solo.
We'll be buying our Blu-rays by the time Han Solo's in theaters.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. You think there's going to be a trailer with this movie? Just kind of switch gears a little bit here,
That's
but
pretty soon. I
You
don't
think so?
think I don't think they're gonna want to step on either movie by having either movie near
involved with
other.
each other. Yeah, that's probably true. Maybe.
I think that would be so distracting to have a Han Solo trailer before The Last Jedi, and you're like, you just
It-
totally forget about it.
Torn. He'll be just torn.
You just never remember that ever happened because you don't care anymore because you just saw The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Yeah. I'm sure more stuff Last Jedi related will come out as more toys come out, as we're going to start. Well, some books are coming out at the end of October. There's the big push of books is obviously in December when the movie comes out.
Yeah.
But speaking of books, I don't think we got to talk about it since it happened, as far as I'm aware. But they announced a second Thrawn book by Timothy
yeah,
Zahn,
that's right. Yeah.
featuring Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
So Darth Vader and Thrawn,
They're finally going to meet.
meeting and doing something together.
And I assume this is before he shows up in Rebels, right?
Who cares? Rebels season 4 premiered, and I heard a lot of people were disappointed, like I've always been.
Premiered or the trailer
Season
premiered?
4 premiered, yeah. As of recording last night.
Oh, really?
Season 4 premiered, and I heard it was not so good.
Oh, so you mean how we felt about the entire series? All of it?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Welcome to our world.
Apparently, it was disappointing.
Dumb Rebels fans.
I saw a poll about, like, do you think Ezra and Kanan should die and will? Shouldn't die and will? Or, like, I'm like, yes, should, whatever. Are they dead? Yes. That one. The one that ends in where they should have been always dead and are now also dead.
End this now, please. Where's that option?
I don't see how how Rebels will end with Jedi existing and it not affecting everything else.
They'd have to die, right?
They have to. But can you kill everyone off in a kids show?
Yeah, but one at a time.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about Rebels here.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Kanan's going to die first. And then there's going to be something at the end of the season where Ezra does something.
Raise Ezra's daughter cousin. I don't know. Something.
No, please. His daughter cousin.
Don't ask.
All right.
Something horrible has happened.
All right.
Well,
I
am super excited for The Last Jedi in 60 days.
We'll keep talking about it.
Yeah. More information, more stuff will happen. We will
we have our tickets.
Something to talk
Obviously,
about.
we have our tickets.
If you weren't able to get tickets, like most people on the night the trailer came out, join. Yeah, it was a mess.
Really? There was the same deal?
I mean, it was the mess for us too. Like,
but it was different this time. AMC, stupid AMC,
Son of a bitch.
at least for our area.
That was all of AMC. They
everywhere?
AMC put up their tickets on their website and not Fandango.
Yeah.
And no one figured that out for a long time.
Because they have their own app with their own like rewards.
And then after all of those were sold out, then they went live on Fandango.
Yeah. Super, super lame.
Yes.
Because we were.
And then Regal went up like an hour and a half before the trailer aired.
Yeah.
On Fandango.
Which is how we were able to get them.
We were like, oh gosh, it's happening.
Right.
Fandango.
I think we ended up being like 3 different showings, so we had to cancel a bunch
Fandango did not crash until much later.
Yeah, and then they did the whole queuing system.
And then they did that queuing system, which I guess is better than the system just being inaccessible like it was last time.
Right. But we got ours way before
We got ours an hour and a half before the trailer aired because we were just
It was after the trailer.
You were already looking.
Yeah.
And you're like, they're up.
They're live right now.
I had just walked in my front door and I like raced past my family. I'm like, I'll be back. And then I never came back because I was hunting tickets for the next hour and a half.
My wife and she was trying to like play a game and be involved and like be a married couple. I was sitting there with my phone freaking out trying to buy tickets. And eventually she just walked out of the room.
Oh gosh. I don't understand why it has to be such a mess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why can't you say at 9 p.m. Pacific or Eastern, whatever, tickets will go on sale so that everyone can try to buy tickets together with their friends instead of you buying tickets for everybody, I buying tickets for everybody. Then we see whoever was able to get the best tickets and then cancel the ones that we don't want to keep anymore.
But I guess they would probably prefer that slow ramp up than like a straight spike.
I mean,
and people trying to buy
giant
tickets,
comic conventions can do it. If San Diego Comic-Con can do a queuing system and have tickets go on sale at a specific time.
Right, yeah.
And they had a queuing system ready, but no one put up their tickets at the right time.
I'm still just pissed off about the AMC thing.
The best screen in our area is an AMC.
Yeah.
Close by. I will go and see it on that screen like the next week or days.
Yeah,
after
it doesn't mean we
it.
can't. It's just opening night. I wanted to see it opening night.
Yeah.
On that screen.
The best screen is AMC that's non 3D IMAX screen basically.
Yes.
But all
with
we could
Atmos, Dolby Atmos sound.
Yeah, Dolby Atmos AMC screen.
Yeah.
Without 3D, but all the other best screens are all 3D, which I'd prefer not to see on my first viewing, but probably not going to care.
Yeah, we did IMAX 3D for Force Awakens, and I really regret that. It was just too much.
That was true IMAX too, and that was like very intense.
But
you also have glasses without watching 3D, which probably makes it worse.
It's bad.
I don't have glasses, and it's still okay.
I don't like 3D at all. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Reminds me too much of Avatar.
Speaking of,
you want to talk about Avatar again?
No.
Let's talk about how much we hate Avatar.
Not at all.
All right.
Sex with tails. Hair braids. What?
What's that? Huh?
Nothing.
What's that?
Nothing at all. Well,
That's been this.
just trying to end it now without talking about anything else. If you would like to talk to us, and we would love to talk to you, go to Twitter and find us at Hokey_religion. You can also shoot us an email at asklobot@hokeyreligion.com. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube and anywhere sounds
Stitcher.
are
We're on
performed.
Stitcher.
We're on Stitcher. Please leave us a review at
Are we
any
on
sites
Spotify
that
yet?
allow reviews. No.
So is Spotify the new Google Play? Do we need to have a Spotify update at the end of every episode now?
Spotify is still handpicking, I believe.
Oh,
I believe
so was
Spotify
Google
is
Play.
still handpicking.
How long
You
were
can't
we-
even apply to Spotify, at least last I checked.
Oh, really?
Like it is
I
like
thought you apply.
they
and then
like
choose.
invite you
Really?
as a podcast.
Oh,
Last I
screw
checked.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll never be there.
Not at all. But yeah, if you enjoy the show, please leave us a review on iTunes or anywhere that reviews are made possible so that other people can find the show and enjoy it as well. And because we would like more people to listen, because we would like more listener engagement, because we enjoy making fun of you on both the show and with memes on Twitter.
We make
And-
fun of people with memes on Twitter.
We will at some point.
Okay. Reply to us.
Like
and
we
we'll-
said, if you want to buy a t-shirt of the logo or the new You Called It shirt, you can go to TeePublic.
No, just go to hokeyreligion.com
Go to
and click on the link.
hokeyreligion.com, click on the
the link.
t-shirt picture on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And again, you can find everything else on hokeyreligion.com to go to iTunes
Yeah.
or all of our episodes, everything else.
Hey, guess what? If you don't like how hokeyreligion.com works or looks, send us $1 on Patreon. And
Make it better. Yes.
So we can use that money to make it better.
Yeah, you can support the show
because
on
we can't
Patreon
afford to do it right now.
Patreon.com/hokeyreligion. You can support us with just as little as $1 a month, and then there's other tiers with other things that come along with that. We are still have a goal on there to release the 2 episodes we have of our original podcast
Yeah.
called Plug and Play. That was horrific and happened about 12 years ago when we were but children, and it's horrible. Horrible. So you should definitely hear it so that your ears bleed. So give it to us on Patreon. And that is all of the things. Michael.
Do it. What?
Just do it. Okay. Well, it's time to do it. This is Tyler.
It's do it time.
That's Michael. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hokey religion is an ancient weapon. Hokey religion is an ancient weapon. There's no magic for a good blaster at your side.
Real pull a dicks in here.
A real dick puller. Did you say pull or pool? It's a real dick puller today. This episode
That
is
trailer's a real dick puller.
brought to you
Just
by.
yanked me right off.
This episode is brought to you by Dick Pulling. Hey, sometimes you got to do it.
You weren't recording any of that, were you?
Yes.